Hi, my name is Arjuman Yunus, and today I will present our Social Informatics conference paper. So let's begin. The title of our paper is XAI Analysis of Online Activism to Capture Integration in Irish Society through Twitter. This is joint work by TU Dublin and UCD, and Immigrant Council of Ireland has also collaborated. This is how I have organized my talk. First, I will talk a little bit about the problem statement, then we'll delve into the contributions of this work, some details about the dataset and methodology, results, conclusions, and some future work. So, as we all know, migration is a very hot topic within the social science domain. And a lot of researchers have been studying it from a very long time, even before Twitter. First, they used to have surveys and interviews and focus groups. Now, with social media data, a lot of the studies can use big data and the vast amount of tweets when it comes to Twitter to study different aspects. And most studies have studied mobility flows, as in how people are moving, analyze the economic patterns or even the innovation, how there's the flow of innovation. We, however, study assimilation and cultural change. This is our focus, and some other studies have also done it. And some studies have also done text classification approaches against to detect hate speech against migrants. Now, to make it clear, this is part of a broader project called INIR, Inclusive IR, which is funded by Irish Research Council's COLACE program, and it's basically collaborative alliances for societal challenges. Collaborative alliances means that researchers from AHSS, arts, humanities, social science, and STEM, science, technology, engineering, and maths are going to come together to solve a problem of society. Now, we know integration of migrants, hate speech against migrants, problems faced by migrants is something of a big concern to society. And we try to use methods from within computer science and also the classical social science to see how migrants in Ireland are doing, and an analysis into the various factors that cause disintegration or harmony or whatever it is. And we used, in this particular work, we use Twitter data because it gives multiple perspectives, because it has both content and tweets metadata. And the best thing about this work is that we use both of them, as in content and tweets metadata. And migrants are a very hard demographic to study. This work shows that using a smart combination of different aspects of Twitter, we can come to some interesting findings. So the question arises, why Ireland? Because Ireland is generally considered to be a friendly country. Its policies are very welcoming in terms of diversity and inclusion. It has transformed into a multicultural society over the years, with 1 in every 8 person being a migrant. However, it has not been studied extensively by social science researchers who've studied EU. So from that perspective, there are very few studies, and we try to fill this gap. Now, the contributions of this work are that studying aspects of migrants integration is not an easy task. So we try to frame it as a text classification task, explainable text classification task, as in a text classification task that uses XAI methods, explainable artificial intelligence, that also explains about which features are important, and we use best of both worlds approach, as in we make of rich Twitter metadata interactions, the communication patterns that Twitter has, mentions, retweets, following, along with the textual content. And we use it as a tabular data representation with explainable AI methods. And the data set is also publicly available. The GitHub link is in the paper, and it can advance studies by researchers within social science that study migration or within the text mining community. So that's also another important contribution of our work. Then we have something called Irish Twitter. I've been in Ireland like 10 years or so, and over time, I have learned that Irish Twitter is a uniquely representative space where there are jokes unique to Ireland and some aspects very, culturally specific, especially as, for example, this screen shows that when uh, Queen Elizabeth passed away, there was this begging Irish Twitter to be respectful. So these are characteristically Irish aspects. That's why we call it Irish Twitter. Now, from within this Irish Twitter, we gathered a data set of migrants and natives. Now, there are some migrant activists, and you would find within the bio of many people a mention of 2 or more countries, and you get that this is most likely a migrant. Or by reading the tweets, you can also assess whether a person is a native or a migrant. So that's how we did that. And also surnames of Irish people are characteristically unique. So sometimes we do that as explained in the paper. Now our data set has 66 native and 66 migrant activists. So we frame the task as trying to do text classification on, or not just text classification, but using aspects of their data within a tabular representation to do classification of whether a user is a migrant or a native. And what are the features we use? We use Twitter metadata features, follower-following ratio, which basically gives you a measure of online popularity, percentage of mentions, measure of engagements by the user, retweets percentage, measure of reposted, not original content, quoted percentage, measure of somewhat original content. And then we have the textual features. These textual features, 2 of these are converted to binary features, which is similarity, dissimilarity of topics with migrant cluster, similarity, dissimilarity of topics with native cluster. So we convert these into a binary feature that depicts whether a Twitter user's topics are similar to migrant cluster, whether a Twitter user's topics are similar to native cluster. And then we have something called label. And within this label, we apply the word embedding W2V, word-to-vec algorithm to all of the top 20 words in the tweets of a migrant or a native, and then we apply k-means clustering over it, and using the labels that we have, we assign it to a certain cluster. Now, that itself is a feature. Now, after this topical analysis, there was some interesting patterns we noted, as this preliminary graph shows. So label 0 and label 2, this is TSNE visualization of the word embedding clusters. Now, label 0 is a topic in which the migrant community was very active and vocal. It was about racism, stereotype, those kind of topics. And label 2 was a topic in which the native community was very active. And this was about a topic with the hashtag Save NMH. NMH is National Maternity Hospital. And the debate was around handing over National Maternity Hospital to the premises of a body that is governed by a church in Ireland. And it was a trending topic for quite some time in Ireland because it was all over the news headlines. But migrants were tweeting in very less numbers about that, while natives were very active on that topic. And it was an interesting thing to see, like how much difference is around the interest of NMH, National Maternity Hospital, being handed over to church by the native community, whereas the migrant community, most of them did not even know about it. I did a small experiment in my class. I teach computational social science, and most of the migrant students in my class even did not know about. So this shows that it is showing a real world phenomenon. Then if you also see the clusters here, topics number 5, 8, and 9 also showing in, sorry, not 5, 8, 9, and 1 also show an interesting, 8, 9, and 2 also show an interesting pattern. 8 and 9 have most of the migrants tweeting about it, while number 2, most of the natives were tweeting about it. So women, trans, Ireland rights was something natives were tweeting a lot about, where 8 and 9 is something that mostly migrants were tweeting about. So this does show that within topics, there is a lot of difference. So when we did text classification, or basically using all those features of text and Twitter metadata in traditional tabular data fashion, we used XGBoost and TabNet. TabNet is a recently released explainable AI method by Google. You can find the paper. It's called TabNet, and we have cited it in our paper. So from that, the feature importances that came out were the similarity of whether or not a particular user's tweet is similar to the native cluster, labels, and follower following ratio. Whereas with XGBoost, when we applied Shapley additive values, so we found that mentions percentage, labels, and follower following ratio emerged. One thing is interesting, labels and follower following are the ones that are the stable features because they are predominant in both. So that, again, it goes to show that the topical distribution of tweets by migrants and natives is significantly different because they have different ideas and different interests, and hence we can see that there is still a long way to go when it comes to migrants' integration in Ireland. And another thing we noticed was that natives exhibit a higher degree of content-based homophily in their interactions, especially with those whom they follow or whom they follow and they also follow them back. So it's an interesting way to see what the migrants and the native population of Ireland are thinking about, are interested in. As future work, our idea is to divide it into different clusters based on whether they're Asians, Africans, because Ireland is very unique in terms of having a lot of different nationalities. So that'll be one aspect. And then the other aspect will be studying economic correlations and see how the tweets differ by a person's occupation or education level. So thank you very much and hope you like our work.